Hey guys, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. It is March 29th, okay, 2021. It is 10:45 here in Atlanta, Georgia. And of course, we're going live. Okay, we got to talk some things when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got to talk about Married to Medicine and everything in between. Miss Kenya Moore hair care is body shaming. And Dr. Heavenly is just going to hell in on Anila and Toya. Okay. So we're going to talk about that and so much more. If you guys can hear me and if you're in the chat, please let me know. Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay. We got Birmingham, UK. Okay. What's up, Dwayne? We got Aisha. We got Danielle. If you can hear me, please let me know. And as soon as we get confirmation for that, we're just going to go ahead and get started. All right, so we can hear. Great. Now, we ain't got no time for small talk, okay? Because we're going to go ahead and get into some things and talk about what happened in last night's episode. So, you guys know yesterday, okay? Yesterday, we talked a little bit about the New Orleans trip on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Miss Drew Sidora wanted to do a booty bounce, and whoever did the best booty bounce, of course, was going to get the best room. Well, Miss Kenya Moore hair care, of course, was not happy about that. Okay. She cited that she did not want to degrade her. And we talked about this yesterday because I said, that's really interesting that you don't want to degrade yourself now in 2021. But all of maybe 2 months ago, you were in Charleston of the South Carolina, busting it wide open as Miss Chocolate, right? You went to a whole charity event with your ass out, pretending to be Phaedra Parks, right? And you certainly were twerking on Peter, okay, Patricia, when y'all went to Anguilla, if I'm not mistaken. And so all of a sudden now you don't want to degrade yourself? What's going on? Now I understand her daughter is there. I totally get that. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but did y'all see where Porsha was kind of like taking care of Brooklyn a little bit? Okay, she was like, "Oh, Brooklyn, ask your mom if you can have these, types of chips." Did y'all see that? Like, Portia was being so nice and like, just being Auntie Porsche. I I I thought that was interesting. Okay, so shout out to Miss Portia. Okay, and speaking of Portia, we're gonna get to her in just a second. Okay, because Kenya definitely stole our line that we be saying over here at the House of Aaron. But we'll get to that. So let me go ahead and show you guys this video. This is a little clip of what happened last night.
Booty bounce it. For the fourth time, I don't understand that either. Can I have my tea, please? Girl, you paid for that booty. Bounce it.
Okay, so y'all heard that. Miss Drew Sidora said, "Girl, you paid for that booty. Why you feeling some type of way? Bounce it." I'm gonna play it one more time.
For the fourth time, I don't understand that either. Can I have my tea, please? Girl, you paid for that booty. Bounce it.
All right, y'all remember that from last night? Well, Miss Kenya Moore hair care went on to Twitter, child, okay, to respond to Drew Sidora saying, "You paid for that booty, so bounce it." Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the tweet up on the screen. Let's see. I think this is it. And so, in response to Drew Sidora, Miss Kenya Moore hair care said she needs to pay for a tummy tuck. Yikes. Okay, yikes. The whole goddamn palm tree. Okay, that wasn't little itty bitty shade, honey. Okay, it's forecasting outside. Nothing but clouds, no sun. Okay. So when I read this, you guys, I was just like, what the hell is Kenya thinking? Like Kenya. Now, when I thought about it a little bit more, I'm like, okay, well, is Drew Sidora body shaming by saying, you paid for your booty? I don't really think that that's shaming. I think that's just a fact. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? You did pay for your booty allegedly. I mean, obviously, it looks like you have 2 silicone, implants in each cheek. And so was it shady? Yes. But did I think Drew Sidora was body shaming? I don't really think so. But in response to what Drew said, Kenya Moore is obviously body shaming. Okay, she said she needs to pay for a tummy tuck. Kenya. Now, does Drew Sidora have the tightest physique? No. Okay, does she have a Coke hourglass frame? Absolutely not. Okay, far from it. However, she is a beautiful woman, a beautiful Black woman. Okay, she looks beautiful inside and out. And I feel like it's highly offensive and inappropriate for Miss Kenya Moore Hair Care to say that that girl need a tummy tuck. Like, girl, why is we body shaming in 2021? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, what is going on? So, what do you guys think about that situation? Do you think Kenya was body shaming? Do you think, Drew Sidora was asking for it? Danielle says, I honestly love how Drew is just regular schmegular. Okay. And watch, if Drew gets a couple of seasons, who knows? She might just very well get a tummy tuck. Okay. Do a little BBL, suck that stomach right on out, and put it straight into the ass and look like every other Atlanta chick. Matt Beef said Kenya did nothing wrong. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not completely against Kenya clapping back because Drew did say what she said first. However, Kenya Moore is body shaming. Okay. Those are the facts. Um, let's see. Miss TN says Drew has had children with a husband who loves her. Granted, he disappears from time to time, but he's there and loves that tummy when he is there. And that's just that on that. Okay, that's just that on period. I would totally agree. If her fine ass husband, Ralph Pittman, likes her little tummy, okay, her little fluff, I don't see the problem. Mad Beef said it's offensive to talk about Kenya's butt. Okay, you're right. I'm gonna give you that. Alpha says she is not that black, Aaron. Kenya is blackier. Come on. What you mean they both black? Kenya has a darker skin tone, but they're both equally black, no? Okay. Amber says Drew better get her comebacks together because in Aquarius, we literally go below the belt. Well, I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to see at the reunion, but I just thought Kenya's shade was just a little bit beyond shade. Okay, it was kind of mean. It was on the mean scale. And so I just thought that was interesting. I really am not a fan of Kenya, as you guys know. She's body shaming, which is just another, check mark against her. But I'm not completely against her clapping back because Drew Sidora was being hella shady in the confessional last night. Okay. So according to Miss Kenya Moore Hair Care, Miss Drew Sidora needs a tummy tuck. Okay. Okay. Alpha says, Aaron, do you have any tea for the reunion? Legit tea, please. We might. We might have some legit tea coming up real soon. Just wait on it. Okay, wait on it. Dina says Kenya was just looking plump during quarantine. Women's bodies change all the time. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you. Kenya Moore Hair Care, all of the first 5 episodes of this season kept saying, oh, I'm big. I'm fluffy. I've gained so much weight. Okay. The quarantine 15. And so if you're going through body image issues, why is you coming for another woman? I mean, I'm just saying. All right. So what else happened on last night's episode? So Kenya tweeted that. I didn't think it was cool. Let's talk about Drew Sidora on Latoya's drinking. So how did you guys feel about last night's episode when the ladies went to New Orleans? I thought the episode was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought this was just going to be another failed trip, okay, like the Charleston of the South Carolina. I thought they were going to do a bunch of lame failed activities, kind of like how, Fallon's house went down. Fallon's house was so boring on Halloween. I could not believe Bravo actually sat there in the editor's room, pieced that whole thing together, and aired it. Like, we did not have to see that. And so I thought, New Orleans was just going to be a flop. I really did. However, I was pleasantly surprised, and this was probably one of my favorite episodes of the season. Okay, so how did you guys feel about last night's episode? Let me know in the live chat. Now, one of the things that I did not like about last night's episode, let me go ahead and take this off, was the fact that Drew was trying to put Latoya on blast about her drinking. Okay. And this is where I have to stop defending Drewisha. Because at this point, you asking to get dragged. Okay. You are asking to get dragged. And you kind of need to hold your horses. Okay, Drew, you need to hold your horse. So we know last time we saw Miss Latoya Ali, she was at Fallon's house being a tyrant, coming into someone's home, disrespecting it, disrespecting them, disrespecting Fallon's husband, talking about you got 3 babies by 3 different baby daddies, saying this ain't your property, hoe. And the insults went on and on and on, including Latoya calling Fallon Ching Chong allegedly, which, in my opinion, is a racial slur. And so it is extremely obvious that alcohol had a lot to do with Latoya's behavior. We know that every time she shows up on set, Latoya is drunk. We've almost never seen her sober up until, I don't know, like this episode, okay, last night's episode. And so it seems to me as though Latoya does abuse alcohol slightly. I'm not going to say she's an alcoholic. However, everything is not right. Okay. Everything ain't right with the alcohol, and it ain't right up here. So, with that being said, when Latoya came on the New Orleans trip and the girls were turning up, okay, with their red solo cups on the Mercedes bus, everybody noticed, of course, that Latoya, the resident drunk on the show, was not drinking. And so I definitely, if I was on the cast, would have been inquisitive about it. I would have been like, okay, Latoya, you stay drunk. Okay, you stay lit. You stay with a cup in your hand. What's going on today? Right? And so then later on, when the women went to dinner, they were talking about the whole Fallon situation, right? And how Latoya was being hella disrespectful. And then that's when Drewisha came in and was like, well, Latoya, why aren't you drinking? And Latoya was like, because I don't want to. Okay, because I'm separated. And when you're separated, guess what? You're separated, right? Latoya was on that type of time. She was like, I don't have to give you an explanation. I'm not going to go into detail about why I'm doing or what I'm not doing. Okay. I don't have to give you no extra speeches on what the hell I want to ingest or not ingest in my body. But Drewisha, being the very annoying housewife that she is, kept pressing the issue. Therefore, Latoya got fed up. She started banging on the table, calling Drewisha a bitch, ended up leaving. Kenya followed her out. Kenya was like, oh, I'm so sorry that she did that. You really need to be careful of who you share your business with. And then they rode off into the sunset together, which is very ironic because last time I checked, Kenya Moore Hair Care had dumped Latoya at this point. Okay. So shout out to TR for the super chat. I appreciate that. And so I believe Drew was not trying to bully Latoya. Because later on in the episode, we saw Kenya talk to Cynthia, and Kenya was like, I feel like Drew is being a bully. And I totally disagree with that sentiment. I do not think Drew was being a bully. What I think Drew was trying to do, okay, she was trying to get Latoya to admit that the reason why things went left at Fallon's house is because she was drinking too much. She wanted Latoya to, admit to this self-realization that she has a drinking problem and that she possibly, potentially, maybe wants to work on it. Right? Drew was using inside information about the whole church thing, about her assistant inviting her to church, about, Latoya crying out for help, I guess, wanting to live a more sober lifestyle. I don't know. She used that inside information that no one else was privy to and kind of poked her with that and was trying to force her to talk about something sensitive that she did not want to talk about. Drew was trying to put Latoya on blast. And guess what, Drew? You deserve some discipline for what you did to Candy. Okay, you are in the wrong this time because that was a bear that you had no business poking, right? If Latoya behind the scenes was so open and vulnerable with you and your assistant, why would you then take that to the other women, right? It just seems kind of two-faced to me. And I understand that, you don't really like Drew like that, and so I do understand you putting her on blast. However, that, is not nice. That's not the kindest thing to do. And I kind of see, to throw, Miss Kenya Moore hair care a bone, I kind of see where Kenya be coming from, because we did see Drewisha do something very similar when Kenya and Drew were texting about the private jet to Charleston of the South Carolina. And all of a sudden, in person, Drew wants to poke Kenya into, I guess, releasing information that she had told Drew in private. So I kind of see where Kenya is coming from. Drew, if you tell her stuff in confidence in private, it's like she'll test you in front of all of the ladies to see if you're going to say to everybody else what you told her. Do you guys get where I'm coming from? Does that make sense? Okay, am I making sense? Shout out to Steph Murray for the super sticker. Thank you so much. So what is y'all talking about in these comments? Okay, let's see what y'all talking about. Aisha said, Kenya is a hypocrite. Latoya says, I love Drew, but I did think it was shady for her to ask her why she was not drinking when she knew why. I 100% agree. Let's see. Nene Legacy says, Kenya is the biggest bully on the show. I agree with you. I think Kenya is the biggest bully on the show. I think Latoya is the second biggest bully on the show. And so for Kenya to call Drew a bully, I was just like, no, that's not really bullying. Okay, calling somebody out over their drinking problem is not bullying. What's bullying is talking about someone's wig, okay, the pet on their head, and then, going on and on and on about it for weeks to a month, picking on someone that you don't even know. That's bullying. Kenya and Latoya would know all about that. Do I think Drew is a bully? Absolutely not. Do I think it was right to put Latoya on blast? Absolutely not. Kimberly says, don't forget to like the live. That's right. If you guys are in here, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's see. Aaron, you always say Candy instead of Latoya. Well, when I say, someone deserves some discipline, I just automatically put Candy's name in there because that line was originally towards Porsha because of what she did to Candy. Okay. Porsha at that time couldn't go to the bathroom without people saying, oh, you go into the bathroom like how you went to the bathroom with Candy. Marlo knows Kenya isn't lying. Drew always bringing up info from behind the scenes. Exactly. Okay, so since y'all want to talk about Porsha being pressed like a panini, I guess we can talk about Porsha really quickly. Now, speaking of that, I could have sworn I had trademarked and copyrighted and originated the term Porsha, if I'm not mistaken. Now, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you guys have heard that line somewhere else. But I thought I made that up. I could have sworn I made that up. Maybe I got it from somewhere else and subconsciously I just don't know. But I could have sworn I was the first one talking about some Porsha. So tell me why in last night's preview, okay, I saw Kenya talking about some Porsha. I was confused at the situation. I said, is Kenya tuning into the house of Aaron?
Say your name. Porsha. Porsha, Marsha.
Don't say my name.
I can say your name.
Don't say my name.
Porsha, Marsha.
Y'all, who she get that from? Is she trying to say she got it from the Brady Bunch? Talking about some Marsha? Is that where that's from?
Don't say my name.
I can say your name.
Don't say my name.
Porsha, Marsha.
Like, girl, Kenya, you're watching the House of Aaron. Period. Thank you so much to Imara for the super sticker. Thank you. And so I thought that was interesting. I was like, is Kenya using a line from the House of Aaron? Like, really? Murda says, yes, Brady Bunch. Okay, maybe she got it from the Brady Bunch. Okay. Or she could be using Marsha as a cover up so that, people don't know that she is a fan of the house. Did you think about that? T. Gill says, Kenya's watching you. Kenya be watching the house, honey. Malcolm says she got it from you, boo. Okay, so let's talk about Porsha. I think Porsha is pressed. I'm not gonna even lie. Y'all know I love my girl. But I think she's pressed because I do feel like she has been keeping Marlo at a distance. Okay. She has been keeping Marlo at a distance and she has been feeling some type of way about Marlo because Marlo is now, buddy, best friends with Miss Kenya Moore hair care. Right. And so that whole conversation last night was really weird because I'm like, Porsha, you're getting on Marlo for just being cordial with the girl. Okay. And I don't think that's really fair, to be honest. And Porsha does seem bothered and Porsha does seem pressed, like Cardi B. Thank you so much, SF, for the super chat. And so a lot of people on social media were bringing up the fact that, Shamia is cool with Kenya and, Candy and Cynthia are cool with Kenya. And so why doesn't Porsha have an issue with them? Well, I think the thing about Marlo is that Marlo made up with Kenya at the very same moment that Kenya was trying to accuse Tanya and Porsha of having a threesome with Bolo and his thing. Right? And so Porsha in her head is like, okay, well, now you sliding over to Team Kenya. Okay, at this very inopportune, convenient moment. It's very suspicious. And if I was Porsha, I would be suspicious too, because we know in that room that Cynthia had them in where they made up in the Charleston of the South Carolina, Marlo pretty much corroborated Kenya's story of hearing noises outside in the hallway for 45 minutes while Kenya's kid was upstairs starving. Right? Shout out to Scotty. Thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all, I love Scotty. Now, Marlo, just to break it down for you, Porsha probably unfollowed you on social media. One, because you slid over to the dark side. Okay, that's number one. But number two, you probably do believe that, what Kenya is saying is true because you heard it apparently yourself. And Porsha don't like that. And so I could see why Porsha is feeling some type of way about Marlo. I just am. Is Porsha pressed? Yes. But I can see why she would be pressed. If someone was accusing me of doing something that I was not doing, and then all of a sudden they have a new ally, and all of a sudden that ally is corroborating what they're saying, you're damn right I'm going to be pressed. Okay? So what do you guys think about that in the live chat? Marlo ain't slick, and that's what she keeps asking Porsha if she did it. Yeah, I think Porsha believes Kenya, definitely. which is fine. She has the right to believe whatever she wants to believe. You're not, obligated to believe Porsha if you don't want to. You're not obligated to really, have her back. Honestly, if you don't want to, if you believe she did it. If you want to be friends with Kenya, go right ahead, Marlo. You have every right to do that. But, I don't think hanging out with Kenya is really going to keep you in good graces with Bravo. I don't think it's going to keep you with that plum that you so desperately want to turn into a peach. And that's what, Porsha is going to get at the reunion. She's basically going to tell Marlo, girl, you're doing all of this and you're in the middle of me and Kenya's mess. Okay, tap dancing for Kenya. And, just involved in all of these storylines for $2.50. Like, you don't even have a peach. Why are you so involved? And so I don't know. When it comes to Porsha versus Marlo, I'm not really on a side. I'm not really on a team because I understand both sides. Like, I understand Marlo's perspective, right? But then I also understand why Porsha feels some type of way. So I think it's going to be a draw for me. Porsha isn't mad they're friends. She's mad that Marlo is trying to expose her along with Kenya. It's simple. I agree. Low-key, all these heifers be calculating and forming alliances. I agree with that too. Y'all speaking truths today. I love how they act like Porsha owes them any explanation. Yeah, everyone feels entitled to know, what happened with Porsha and her WAP. But guess what? It's none of y'all goddamn business. Okay? Right? Because how come no one is talking about Cynthia and her masturbating, excuse my language, right after she saw Porsha and Latoya making out? Are we just going to slide over that? Are we just going to slide over the fact that, Cynthia was pleasuring herself and touching herself and basically having sex with herself, but everyone is so concerned about Porsha, Tanya, and Bolo? Why aren't we worried about Cynthia's WAP in the same way? And that's how you can tell that it's a double standard when it comes to Porsha versus the other girls. Why isn't anyone talking about Cynthia's WAP? We know she was touching her because she got all hot and bothered by watching, Tanya, Porsha, Latoya, Shamia, and Drew. We know that her WAP was getting wetter and wetter by the moment. If you have kids in the room, it's time to usher them out or it's time to change the channel, child. The Brady Bunch, she's from that era. Ooh. Yikes. Are you calling Kenya old? Let's see what else is going on. Brooke says Cynthia owned up to masturbating, and that's great. But if she didn't want to own up to it, I think that's acceptable too. No, because at the end of the day, what I do with my WAP, okay, in the privacy of the four walls that I'm in, is none of your concern anymore. Shout out to Janae Aiko. Okay, so you just gonna put the same thing in the chat. You just gonna spam the chat. All right, so moving right along, let's talk about Married to Medicine really quickly. I really have not been into Married to Medicine all that much this season because of no reason, really. Like, it's good. It's a good season. However, I don't feel like there's a lot of blockable moments. Therefore, I haven't really been talking about it like that. But last night's episode was so ghetto. Okay, let me go ahead and put up a picture of the bully in chief, the lovely Dr. Heavenly. There goes the beautiful, much, much gorgeous Miss Dr. Heavenly. She was being a bully last night, as always. I love Heavenly, but I have to call it like I see it. She's the bully in chief. Scotty said, cause it ain't that good. Okay, the music ain't that good. I'll listen to it on the iPod. The shade. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Married to Medicine isn't good. I just feel like it's not as spicy. Like Simone and Jackie and their relationship, I don't really care about. Okay, Toya, I feel like, is just fighting with everybody this season just to fight with everybody. You got Quad, Lisa Nicole, Carrie, and all these other old friends of the show coming back. Don't really care about that. Contessa's being annoying like she always is. Don't really care about her. There's nothing really going on. Heavenly is being a bully like always, right? I think the only thing that's really quite interesting to me is the things that they do pertaining to COVID, BLM. Like, I was really interested in Heavenly talking to her son about, that $450,000 house, right? Little moments like that I think are good, but overall it's just boring. Oh, and then I do like Anila's storylines. I really like how we are getting an inside look into her culture and stuff like that. I really, really, really do like Anila and her storyline because I feel like, her situation with her mother and all that, I like it. But okay, y'all saying snooze fest. But y'all, they had a basketball tournament last night. It was the kids of the doctors versus the doctors and the wives, Joe. The parents versus the children. And of course, it being at Heavenly's house, the whole event turned ghetto really, really fast. All right. It was just ghetto. And I hate to use that word to describe Black people and their situations that they got going on, but the whole event was ghetto. Okay. And I think Heavenly is a beautiful person. I think she's accomplished a lot of beautiful things. She has a beautiful family, right? However, y'all remember when Mariah said that Heavenly needed to pressure wash her house? Well, she needs to do that along with pressure washing the goddamn basketball court. The basketball court was dusty. I'm just saying. Please hire someone to do the pressure wash. Yes. The basketball event was really ghetto. I'm not calling Heavenly ghetto. I'm saying her event turned ghetto. Okay? I have not called anybody ghetto. Now, at the basketball tournament, I feel like I'm dragging this on, child. At the basketball tournament, the parents ended up cheating. Everybody left. They went home. The husbands, went to the house, back up to the house, had to climb up the forest to get back to the kitchen. The kids who are grown enough drove into the sunset. And then you had, just the ladies there on the basketball court left to talk about their issues. Contessa said, bye, I don't want to be involved. And so she went and hung out with the menses, right? Then you had Anila sending off her husband and their little ones saying, yeah, can you take the little ones inside the house? And the husband is like, of course, dear. And when Heavenly saw that, she got quite offended at the situation and basically told Anila, girl, you're supposed to be taking care of the kids. You're supposed to be making sure the kids are situated. You want this man to go to work 5 days a week and situate the kids? Like, no, baby doll, that's your job. Okay. And when Heavenly said that, I was so embarrassed. Okay. I had secondhand embarrassment because I'm like, girl, okay, Heavenly, I love you. Okay. But your bullyish ways is really seeping through. You don't tell nobody what they can do or what they should be doing with their husband, their kids, or their household. That is hella disrespectful. And where I come from, people get popped for, having an opinion on somebody's household and their family dynamic. That's a huge no-no. That is a huge no-no. Unless I ask for your opinion, do not tell me what I need to be doing with my husband and my kids. Because at this point, I have the ring and I push the babies out. Therefore, I'm the only people, okay, or the only person, excuse me, I sound like Toya, 4 childs, okay? I'm the only person that needs to have an opinion on my family, okay? Now, whatever shit you talk behind my back is what you talk behind my back. But don't tell me how to raise my kids and don't tell me what I need to be doing with my husband. Heavenly deserves some discipline for what she did to Candy, period. Okay? Like, girl, that is none of your goddamn business. Worry about your son going over budget with his $450,000 house. Worry about your own house that you live in and getting it pressure washed. Okay? Worry about the crowns and the veneers that you need to be putting into people's mouths. I don't understand how you could even do one person's whole veneer set with you leaving work at 2 p.m. every goddamn day. Like, how is that even enough time to do one mouth? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm totally kidding. I understand that she has dental hygienists and she's the boss, not really the worker. That was a joke. Now, after she told Anila what she needed to be doing with her husband and her children, Heavenly started talking about the girl blogging because Anila said, if we are both bringing in an income and if we both work, then we both are going to take turns. We're both going to take turns situating the children. Sometimes I'ma situate the children. Sometimes I'ma, take care of the children. And sometimes when I need you to step up, you situate the children. Because if we really want to be honest about the situation, Anila is technically working. Married to Medicine is a job. And so if she has to do a scene with the bully in chief, Miss Heavenly, Kimes, and the other ladies, then she needs to work and the husband needs to make sure the kids are in the house. Okay. And so once Anila brought up the fact that she does work, Heavenly asked, well, what do you do? Anila said, I'm a blogger. Now, if you don't know, now in 2021, bloggers are a thing. It's a real career. They make real money. And I'm sure there are some bloggers that make more money than doctors or even dentists. So let's get into some things. Let's get into it. There are some bloggers and vloggers and YouTubers and everybody in between, Instagrammers, IG models, IG thoughts, whatever you want to call them. They're bringing in more bank than some doctors. That's not to put down doctors. That's not to demean doctors. Those are the facts of it all. Right? And so for Heavenly to really sit there and act like she don't know blogging is a real job, right? She was sitting there like, oh, that's a job. Like, you get paid for that. You get an income for that. Anila was like, yeah. And Heavenly, you know that. And we've talked about this, I believe, like maybe a month and a half ago. We've talked about this very topic. Heavenly, you know blogging is a real ass job because last time I checked, aren't you best friends with Funky Dineva, who is a blogger? Isn't that your best friend? Oh my God, I almost forgot. Heavenly is a blogger herself. Heavenly, you're a YouTube blogger. You're a vlogger. You literally sit up on your YouTube channel every other day, okay? Because I have to see it run across my home screen every day, okay? I love Heavenly, but I'm not subscribed to her because I'm just not interested. Her videos come across my screen every day. So you really is working real hard for these YouTube coins, child. For you to be posting lives every goddamn day. So for you to be a YouTube vlogger yourself, working hard for these coins, okay, to afford that 3-story closet, and then you're going to sit up here and act like you don't know blogging is a job. You're a hater, Heavenly. You are a straight up hater. You, Heavenly, Candy, okay, Buffy, y'all are all bloggers. You're not getting enough satisfaction from just being on the show. So now you have to have your own show to commentate on the show. Y'all get what I'm saying? Had something on my lips. So I don't know. I just didn't like that. Okay. I did not like that. And so then she wanted to bring up Toya. Toya had mentioned to her, like, girl, stop hating. Okay, stop hating. And then girl, Heavenly was like, girl, I'm not hating on you. Toya was like, well, you want to do what I do? Okay, Toya said, you want to do what I do. So it seems like you're ducking and diving and watching with binoculars, seeing everything that I'm doing, stalking my social media on Instagram. You have a fireplace on your patio because I got a fireplace in mine. You want to have a 3-story closet because I have a 5-story closet. Okay, it seems like you're copying me. And Heavenly basically said, girl, I don't copy you. Like, I don't want to do what you do. I don't want to have what you have. I would never want to be like you. And then proceeds to talk a bunch of mess about what Quad told her, saying that, Latoya, not Latoya, but Toya Bush begged, borrowed, and stole to afford her home. She took out $100,000 loan, to pay for the pool in the backyard, along with the mortgage that she has on the house. And I'm just like, y'all is really all up in this girl's finances. Shout out to Zaline for the super sticker. I'm like, y'all is really all up in this girl's finances, and I just did not appreciate it. Okay, I did not appreciate it. And then, of course, Dr. Heavenly, being petty, brought up Black Lives Matter. Now, let me preface this, and it's the last thing I'm going to say before I get on out of here. I want to preface this part of the live by saying Anila is dead ass wrong for trying to conflate her issues with Black Lives Matter. Because don't conflate the issues, honey. You may have dealt with racism. You may have dealt with discrimination. You may have been bullied for your heritage and your culture. And I totally understand that. And I sympathize with that. And I see you. Okay. We see each other, Anila. And I like you, Anila. However, when we're talking about Black Lives Matter, we're talking about Black Lives Matter. Okay. We're not talking about everybody else's life. We're talking about Black lives. So let's not conflate issues. You can, put in your opinion and say, yes, I can slightly understand because I've had these experiences. But Indian Americans don't have the same experiences as African Americans. African Americans don't have the same experience as Asian Americans. Asian American people don't have the same experience as Jewish people, as, Muslim people, and the list goes on and on and on, right? We all get treated poorly. We know that there are disparities. We know that minorities in this country are not treated with the utmost respect. And so, yes, we can in some kind of way relate on that level. But you trying to conflate these issues while we talking about Black Lives Matter is the wrong road, sis. Okay, I'm gonna need you to sit this one out. Now, with that being said, Heavenly bringing up Black Lives Matter in retaliation to the whole blogger situation and the whole Toya situation, I thought was inappropriate. Because if you really want to educate someone, Heavenly, you have to come through peace, love, understanding, and patience. If you want to educate, right? If you don't want to educate nobody, then you have every right not to. However, her coming at her like that with the Black Lives Matter stuff, I thought was so wrong, especially when you sat up there with your son, who is so adorable, by the way. Okay. Heavenly's older son is such a cutie pie. Like, am I the only one that thinks that? And then can we talk about Simone's son really quickly? Did he get his teeth done? Okay, not to be talking about children, even though I believe he is 18 or older than 18. But did Simone's son get his teeth done? His teeth are so pretty. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. However, Heavenly had a whole conversation with her eldest son about how she can approach the situation about BLM to Anila in a positive way, in an educational way, and then brought up BLM in a very, and I hate to say this, I hate to use this word, but she brought it up in a very aggressive way. I hate to use that word towards a Black woman, I know. But Heavenly was being very aggressive. Honestly, all three of them, Toya and Anila, they were all, were portraying aggressive behavior. So let me know what you guys think. Simone's oldest son had braces. Okay, his teeth are beautiful. They're so nice and big and white. I would have thought Heavenly did them. Sandra says, why are we saying Kenya told Drew something in confidence? We are not talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore. Why is y'all still talking about Drew and her shape looking like SpongeBob SquarePants? That is not appropriate, and I will not tolerate that in this chat. Let's see. You taught me a new word, Aaron, conflate, and I have a degree in English and mass comm. Well, hopefully I'm using it right, child. Sometimes I'll just be using words just to use them. I think it means this, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Labels much? What is you talking about? If I think someone is displaying aggressive behavior, then they're displaying aggressive behavior, right? I'm Black, I'm of a darker tone, and so you can't use the colorism situation, okay? And when people are on a basketball court screaming and yelling and calling each other bitches and getting up in each other's face, what else do you call that? Okay, it's nothing but a bunch of anger and aggression. That's what it is. Okay, yes, them teeth was nice, big, and white. He had braces. Okay. Coco says, honestly, I can see we will never get rid of white supremacy because people don't get that it needs to be eradicated in all spaces. It exists. It's not one thing versus the other. Yes. Okay. And it's like, I try not to use the aggressive word. However, the way Heavenly brought up BLM was very aggressive. And if you want to be an educator and if you want to come to people about Black Lives Matter, people that don't really understand it, you cannot come at it with aggression if you want to educate. Because you, as a Black person, do not have to educate white people or people of other cultures about Black lives and how we have been being killed at the hands of the government since we've been in this country all of 600 years ago. Amara says, listen, sometimes it is what it is. If they're being aggressive, they are being aggressive, Black woman or not. Yeah, I agree. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this live. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will be back a little later with some more tea. I think I'm gonna do one more video, a regular video later on today. So I love you guys, and don't forget to create a great day. Bye.